Hello and welcome back to the 90s Mad podcast, your podcast for all things Newcastle United, hosted by three lifelong Newcastle United supporting friends. Myself, D-Man, joined by Jefferson and AC. How you guys doing?
I'm good, man. I'm not too bad. I'm not too
Yeah?
bad.
Smiles are
Yes.
back. Smiles are back temporarily. Jefferson, you good?
Yeah, it just happens to have got Monday out of the way. You know that we're on our way to Christmas, so
Yeah, it's
yeah,
fast
slowly,
approaching, man.
slowly getting hyped for that. Yeah. Good to be
Yeah,
back in the house, though.
yeah, man. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, get involved in the chat. We much appreciate it. We know we are here to discuss the recent result, the 4-0 thrashing of Leicester City, who played on Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff. And back to winning ways, man. Back to winning ways. Well, we hope. But yeah, man, we're
Yeah.
going to get into it. But as usual, we're going to start with the overall thoughts of the game. So I'll start with you, Jefferson. What are your overall thoughts?
That was like a hot potato. I caught that one there. Yeah, I mean, look, it's nice to bagel a team. That's always a good start. You got the team photo there, so when that happens, we know it's been a good day at the office. Obviously, in terms of where we were coming from, our performance from like the previous games, morale was at an all-time low. There was disarray in the camp. It appeared. So this was the perfect response. Very much on the front foot, very positive, high energy. These are the things that we come to expect from our Newcastle team. Um, I think what I liked was the kind of ingenuity and creativity with the set pieces. So, you know, we looked like we couldn't score from a set piece for Toffee this season, but all of a sudden, I think we got two. Um,
We
we
said
got two,
Arsenal
and
Mark 2, yeah?
it was crazy. And then
Let's see.
obviously we've talked in previous games about crosses, and crosses amounting to nothing, and all of a sudden, I think we got 2 goals from crosses, or maybe even 3. I lost count because we scored that many goals, but all round a very, very positive game and an outcome and response to the previous games. What I would say is our forward players definitely turned up. The players we normally look to for a good performance turned up as well. So yeah, but as we know, it's again I very much take it in isolation because we're at home. We generally play better at home, and a side like Leicester City, we're expected to beat them. So it's one of those ones where, okay, maybe it will slowly turn the tide potentially, but let's not get carried away. But let's sing when you're winning. Let's enjoy the victory.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have the team photo back. It's been a while since we've seen that in the league. So, good to see that, especially at home. But yeah, like you said, let's not get too excited. Listen, Leicester are garbage. Yeah, they're absolute trash. Bar Southampton, they're probably the next worst team in the league. But and they showed it at St James's. But like I said, we wanted to see a performance and a reaction on the back of the disappointing Brentford result, and I think we got that. And it's been a while since we thrashed the team as well. So that was good as well. And what encouraged me was the number of very good performances that we saw on the day. There's only one or two that we can think that didn't really perform to the standard we expect, but the rest of them, I thought they played very well, which we'll get into as well. But yeah, it's like I said, it's the creativity, the set pieces, the efforts that we had on goal. I think we had 27 shots on goal or something like that.
27,
Yeah,
11 on
which is
target.
which is really promising.
That's a lot.
So maybe we're stuck. This will give us confidence to start scoring goals again because we've lacked them all season. So and some will say a team was due a spanking, and also we have struggled against lesser teams all season. So this is encouraging, and as bad as they still are, we struggle to break down teams like this. So you can take some encouragement from it. AC, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, really delighted actually. I have to go back to my prediction. I did predict we would lose this game because there was a few things to the build-up that didn't give me much confidence. We knew Pope was injured, Dubravka coming in. I was a bit worried, I have to admit, because I wasn't too sure. But to the delight, Leicester had zero threat. It's a really weird one, really, because I don't know if it was Leicester just being really wasteful or just not good at all on the day, or we were just exceedingly really good on our day, which stopped them. Maybe it's a bit of both, because seeing some of that game, you know, they try to progress the ball up pitch and they just can't do it. They seem to get like misplacing passes and whatnot, and they were just zero threat. So we had so much chances. Like you said, 27 shots. Even I'm thinking about the early of the first half, Murphy had quite a few chances. You know, he could have had a hat trick. Isak could have hat trick. Like, there was a lot to pass around the whole team. Like, it could have been a very high scoring game, to be honest. So Leicester probably got caught off lucky, shall I say? That was only 4-0. But yeah, nice to see the team on form. I have to admit as well, part of me was a bit worried about how I was going to do with the lineup, because I was a bit like, you have to start Tonali, and I think we'll get into that detail. Because, when it comes to the lineup, I think it's one of those things where, you know, I was really pleased to see Tonali on the lineup.
There's no way he couldn't have started Tonali. There's no way.
But I have to admit, if he didn't, because I can't remember what chat I was in, and then I might have been, I don't know, I don't want to give a shout to a podcast, but anyway, I was in some chat and some guys were saying that, he might rest Tonali for the cup game because Longstaff can't play the cup game, right? So I was like, nah, you can't do that, because I don't believe in like resting players for that kind of thing, because Tonali, he can happily play on a Saturday and play on a Wednesday, you know. This is a guy in his prime. It's not as if like he's a 34-year-old, right? Do you know what I mean? He's a very athletic player. But I do think that a lot of players were on there one that day, but I do think we're going to get into Tonali later. I don't want to wax too much lyrical right now, but I think he's one of the players though that did make a difference, because once again, it seems to be a theme here when Tonali plays in the 6. Bruno can score.
Bruno can all the time.
It's because he's further up.
Tonali in the 6, he's yet to play badly when he started in the 6. Yeah. So even when he started, full stop. But like I said, with the lineup, he brought back Tonali. He also brought back Anthony Gordon. So obviously Barnes has come out and Longstaff come out. And like I said, to me personally, there's no way that he couldn't have played Tonali in this game. A, because of how we performed against Brentford when he wasn't starting, and B, because I've always said, when we're expected to take it to teams and control the game, he has to play. Yeah, because Longstaff, you know, I don't want to be too critical of him, but that's not his game, innit? Yeah, we need somebody who can dictate the play and quicken up the play and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And like you said, it allows Bruno to play in the 8 position and be further forward. And Tonali's better in the 6 than Bruno with the 6. Although Bruno's done a job in the 6, Tonali's more suited to that 6 role. But Jefferson, were you surprised at anything with the lineup? Any surprises there for you?
Again, I think rotation is key, and obviously we had the injury situation. So I think the key thing would have been, all right, would it have been potentially Odi or Dubravka? I don't think we're surprised by seeing, you know, Dubravka there. Murphy's an interesting one because, you know, you know, we talked about he had a kind of good half in the last game and then dropped off. So it was interesting that he was in again and then proceeded to have a good game. So that one, I wasn't sure about whether Murphy would retain his place or not. But Tonali, he had to start.
Yeah. We'll get into Murphy's performance because he split opinion a bit. But yeah.
But what I would say, one thing I would say though, is what Eddie has to look out for now is combinations. And something that I've picked up on is actually Murphy and Isak. Isak looks better when Murphy plays.
He does.
And they've connected well because they connected for the Spurs goal.
He feeds
They connected last week, and then they connected again in this game.
It's funny though, because
so you have to look at combinations. What
as
works.
well as he links up with Isak, him and Tino play like strangers. They play like strangers on the right hand side. So he has to get Suffolk has to give it. But let's get into the game itself today, because big up Harpool locked inside, and we've got Double D as well. He left a comment as well. But yeah, listen, we started. Harpool's a great game for us and result, but we need to keep ourselves to this standard. He said Bruno needs to be kept further up. He said he prefers it to, which is true. Agree on both counts. You know, and we'll get to Bruno as well when we talk about the game. But yeah, so the game started off, and we started a double team Murphy or Saka. You know what? It's funny though, because there's so much similarity between Newcastle and Arsenal at the moment, in fact that we're lopsided, but on a different side. Everything goes down our left, yeah. Everything goes down Arsenal's right, yeah. They've got it's so imbalanced. It's so imbalanced, and if you listen to the fans as well, they start to say the same things about Arteta that we say about Eddie Howe. You know, predictable substitutions, stubborn with his style of play. You know, he's not like we need someone to take us further. That he's taking us as far as he can. It's like Groundhog Day when it comes to Eddie Howe, but that's another story. But the game itself, yeah, we started quite slow, quite sloppy. I thought for the first 5 minutes, we couldn't really string the passes together. Leicester almost got in. I think there was an interception from Fabian Schär to cut out of Walter Vardy. But mainly it was Murphy, and I think Tino was giving the ball a bit too sloppily. But then after 5 minutes, we settled down and we started to pepper them. I think the first opportunity came from Anthony Gordon when he's cut inside and forced a good save from the keeper. And then after that, it seemed to be the Murphy show, innit? Yeah, because before he scored, right, he had 3 opportunities. One got called back for a foul when Isak did that mad dribble, yeah, and he got caught in the D, yeah, and then Murphy skied that left foot shot, curl or whatever.
Unbelievable.
And then I think the second was Isak again when it put it through to him, and he's bent it wide, like
yep.
I feel he approached it like he was Salah or something, bro. Like he had a coach in left foot, bro.
Yeah, I thought the way he took his time with it is if he's going to finesse it, but it was
L2 finish, FIFA.
That's not your game, bro. That's not.
I've got a bit of a theory with Murphy where it's almost just like he ain't going to score on his first or second shot or even third. He's scoring on like his 6th or 8th. He's that kind of player where I'm happy for him that he scored eventually, and it was a good goal. And I don't want to jump too far into his goal because it was well placed, and we can talk about that. But
both goals,
I give him credit though, because his head don't drop, and he keeps on trying. He does keep on trying. So some players would have gone into their shell when he kept on passing and not trying and stuff like that. So credit to him because he kept on trying, and but first you don't succeed on that. Try again. But yeah, I think we had another opportunity. I think another set piece, and Gordon floated in from a corner, and he floated in, and Dan Burns headed it over. Should really go on target. For such a big man, he's useless when he's attacking the ball with his head. He can defend him, but attacking the ball with his head, he's useless, man.
Should score more than he does, isn't it?
He should score loads with his head, shouldn't he? Really,
definitely. But yeah, after I think 27 minutes, that's when the goal comes. So we like I said, the set piece from the corner. I think it was Lewis Hall played it to Tonali. He then spread it down the line to Anthony Gordon, and he's looked up and he's seen Murphy in the edge of the box, and it's a cultured curler into the bottom corner. Great
dummy
finish.
The dummy runners, because that looked quite rehearsed.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything like that before.
I was about to say that looked like a routine piece, didn't it? It did, because
the goal we scored against Palace, obviously.
Yeah, because it's funny because when the ball was even passed out to Murphy was off camera, so it shows how much like it was really set in that way. Because Murphy wasn't like in frame; he was really out of the frame. Because it's almost like if you were to watch that for the very first time, you don't even know who the ball's going to. I didn't know Murphy was there, so it's quite interesting that Murphy is playing in that kind of position. So fair play.
It's mad that these set pieces, the creative set pieces, as coincide with Tonali starting. Because if you notice, he didn't even roll the ball in. He does a touch down the line and also. But where was this invention before? Like we couldn't score from set pieces. We were just pumping the ball into the box, not doing nothing. Is that what it means? Just one player just changes everything. Who does that piece, coach? Is it Tyndall?
Yeah, apparently so. Apparently so.
Okay, well he needs to answer a few questions.
Those League One level set pieces, man.
You know what I mean? But it's only so this particular set piece is going to work, because teams are going to figure it out sooner or later. So he's going to have to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's definitely one ace use you can't reuse. But
but and then obviously we go 1-0 up, right? And there seems to be a theme when we go 1-0 up, Isak has a gilt-edged chance and he misses it. Yeah.
Every time, yeah.
And this was another good move. I think Tonali fed it through to, I think, Joe Linton. And Joe Linton fed through to Isak one-on-one.
Great ball, by the way. Great ball.
Great
like
ball.
perfectly to his feet.
But
yeah.
this is what we'll get to. But this is what Tonali brings. That quick passing sets us on the attack quickly. And it sets, kick, and Isak can make the run, whatever, gets defender unaware of that. But he's through on goal. And he's just, I don't know if he's got his feet caught up or something, but he just tapped it into the keeper's arms. I'm thinking you'd have bet on him scoring or at least forcing the keeper into a proper save. But it wasn't to be, and I thought, and the thing similar to that, because remember, he had that chance at Brentford, he had a chance at Chelsea, and they've cost us, yeah.
And Brighton at home as well.
Yes, exactly. So when I saw that, I'm thinking, oh God, here we go again.
You think we're going to concede in it straight away, like, and then it's like, okay, here we go.
That's it. I don't recall too many other clear-cut opportunities in the first half. I don't really think, but that was the one. But we were in control.
He seems to struggle for me in central positions, and this is what I mean. I really don't think, unless it's a foot race, of course, but I really don't think he's a centre forward. Obviously we have to make do at the moment because at FFP, I think we need him as a wide forward. Get another wide forward and a proper centre forward. Or obviously you've got Gordon there as well, but I don't think Gordon's clinical enough.
I think Isak is a centre forward because he's shown that he's done it last season. He was very, and even when he first come, like I know he played a few games, but he still got double figures and stuff. I think I think he can play out wide, like similar to that the Henry kind of cut inside and whatnot. But I mean, he's not like I don't know, but there's not many great strikers out there anyway. But I mean, as in direct and that, but he's not like an Mbappe when Mbappe's position is definitely on the
left side.
Yeah. So I think he can play it, but like I said, I see what you're saying, and the more that he misses these one-on-ones, like it's not really helping his cause.
He just doesn't seem comfortable there. Whereas if you slot him in, when the ball's played from the side, even if he does cut in at that point, he seems more confident. Or if he's running laterally to the side, you got a feeling he's going to tuck it in or get it on target. But when he's through the middle, it's almost like a Bambi on ice routine, and you feel like he's going to scuff it or miss it, or so I think it's something, obviously, when we get through this tough period to look at, and also I think to take the pressure off him as well. I think there's a little bit of pressure there as well.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
wow,
Well, they've done it more because
let's talk about that. There's definitely a pressure because Wilson, my friend, Mr. Glass ankle, glass back, glass elbow, whatever.
Mr. Glass.
He's out. He's injured again.
And the thing is, nobody's surprised. Nobody's surprised.
No, nobody's surprised. But
enough's enough, innit?
I don't want to rant on too much on this, but it's one of the things where, like, I did message you guys and I was like, I predicted this because I remember many episodes ago on 90s Mags, you were like, what about Wilson? You think you're looking forward to coming back? And I was like, he ain't coming back. And if he comes back, he's coming back and walking back out again. You know that classic like Simpsons meme where Grandpa Simpson walks to the pub, grabs his hat, and then walks back out again. That's Wilson. Wilson's like, no, I'm not. I'm going back. Hey.
He didn't even get a start, bro. He did not even get a start. It's
just bad, man. But
and the thing is, you can't even say January, but that's another story, isn't it? That's another story.
He's not worth anything now. So it does go back, and I don't want to repeat the drum, but here it comes the drum as well. The transfer strategy, we'll probably talk about more like later on, but it is definitely not fit for purpose. Like he should have been sold. He should have been sold a season ago, and unfortunately, we haven't done that. Kept him on because Al want to keep the togetherness of the squad.
Keep the band together,
right? Keep the band together.
Hold it against him for some reason.
It's bloody making the band with Diddy. Pause. But yes, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things. I just like. I'm just shrugging, like, we kind of knew this, and Pope's injured now, so it's like, here we are.
Yeah, that's gonna kill us. I'm telling you. But
here we are.
We'll get to that. But listen, the second half starts right, and Leicester changed their keeper. Now, was that due to injury? It must have been, innit? Because I can't see why you would change the keeper at half time. It doesn't make any sense to me. But they didn't mention it. They didn't say what the reason was. But I assume he was injured. Because he's a good keeper. That is it Hermanson, whatever his name is, but he's not too bad. He's not too bad. But they brought on Danny Ward, and he just poor guy. Well, he didn't even get to touch the ball before we scored again. It was before that, Bruno should have been sent off.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, he's a lucky boy.
Very, very lucky.
Yeah.
And it's not
Because
the first time he's been lucky either.
Exactly, because first of all, that was one of the worst dives I've ever seen that he did in the first half. We should have got a yellow card for that. And then the challenge was a naughty one when he's caught that guy. I don't know who he caught, but he caught him, stud showing, and again he got the yellow card, but very, very fortunate. So he should have seen red, and I don't think anyone would complain if he did. But yeah, got away with it, and then the second goal comes. That was that Bruno?
Bruno, yeah.
Header.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Well worked from Lewis Hall down the left, who had a great game
again.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'm sorry to interrupt here because I know you got with the flow, but a lot of goals are routine, and that's making me think like these guys are practicing their asses off, right, in midweek, because even the way that free kick was taken, once again, I didn't expect it. Even Leicester were like, huh? We thought Gordon was going to shoot. But what a play. And also, again, Lewis Hall.
Did you really think Gordon was going to shoot from that distance and that angle?
I think so.
I looked and I thought, there's no way he's shooting from here, bro. Anthony Gordon, I think but maybe they did. Maybe they must have anticipated.
It was looking like a shot, man. I don't know. Even when he queued up his body, it looked like he was gonna just like give it a whack. But no, man, it's a routine. The marking was poor. The marking was awful. This is what I mean. Leicester were. This is where it gets really interesting. Like Leicester were really bad, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to be that bad, but they were bad. And shout out to Ruud van Nistelrooy on the sideline, just like losing his hair. But yeah, the routine goal, man, that was good though. Good to see Bruno get a goal as well.
Yeah, but no, good to see him get a goal. And what's that now? A goal and 2 assists in his last 3 games, I think it is. So
yeah,
especially when he's in the 8th position as well. So in his 8th position, that's 2 assists and a goal. So
he's
cooking.
Yeah.
But how many games is it taken to get there? And this is what I'm saying. People concentrate on the here and now, like, oh yeah, he's got it right now. But it's like, if you made this change many games ago, who knows where our season could have been? Which means you were liable for that. But gets away with murder. So
I know. I think I tweeted this, and because at the time I was a bit like, it's great to see Tonali getting the praise, and I'm seeing like, Tonali should be the 6th. Tonali be the 6th, and I'm just like, you guys like got short memories or something.
Listen, I've been on so many pods, right, every week, and not once have they mentioned Tonali yet. And if they do, it's like, what did he actually do? What did he do? I get why he's being benched and da-da-da-da-da. And there's a certain journalist who's got a podcast, right? And all of a sudden he's praising Tonali. Oh,
I'm not having it because
we've been talking about this.
There's definitely people out there who have all these podcasts and stuff. Some of them were calling it like, Tonali's not worth the money, we should sell him. I had a lot of nonsense.
Even last week they were saying this.
Yeah.
They don't watch football, man. They don't watch the intricacies of football.
Yeah, and I was just like, Tonali was great. And I did say that, like, I think I did say that personally. I think my man of the match against the Liverpool game was Tonali. And he's been, in my opinion, every time he's played for us, he plays well.
This is what I've been saying. I've been saying this, bro. I have been saying it. Every time this brother started the game, he's played well, and especially when he's played in the 6 as well, he's been one of our best players, top 2 in every game of our best players. Yeah.
The only game I had real reservations, one or two, was Wolves away, but I think he was just finding his rhythm. And Everton, I thought he did drop off. He wasn't that good against Everton, but the rest of the team were poor as well.
Yeah.
But the one good thing it did do is we started to see how it started to release Bruno a bit more. So even if he didn't affect the game,
those games he played more than the 8. He had Bruno in the 6, which I don't understand. I do not understand.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's got there somehow. But I ain't forgotten all these people that were criticizing
against Brentford, though. That's the thing. This is what Eddie's been doing. So the team will, I wouldn't say they find their rhythm, but something works, and then he'll change it again. So.
Yeah.
Will Longstaff start against Brentford?
Yeah.
No, he's suspended. Longstaff suspended.
That's the point. And that's the point which I think we mentioned the last episode or the episode before, or maybe the last 4, whatever, is that every time Howe changes the game, changes the lineup and changes the team, it brings inconsistencies. Therefore, the team can't gel. You just can't gel. All the times you're swapping who's on the right, all the time he's swapping on the left, etc. He has to bring consistency. So for me, I would expect this, bring that same starting 11 against the Brentford game.
Oh yeah, he will.
Do not change it. Do not change it.
Yeah,
he has to.
Because what it is, obviously, Joe Linton's suspended for the Ipswich game, so he'll bring in Longstaff or Willock or whatever for that game. But for this one, he will bring, because Joe Linton can play with freedom. Tonali can't be dropped, and Bruno's our captain, so he will go with that same lineup, right? But yeah, so the third goal was the Isak goal, similar, Hall down the left hand side. Good build up as well from Anthony Gordon. Plays it down to Lewis Hall. Gordon had a very good game, by the way. Chipped it over, and it takes a slight deflection of Connor Cody, I think it was, and Isak's there at the back post to slot it in. 3-0, and obviously Isak gets his cusp. I think that's 6 goals and 3 assists in his last 7 games or something like that. Yeah, so he's starting to hit top form. Just stay fit, bro. Just stay fit. Yeah, and we'll be all right. Yeah, because the moment he goes down, it's a problem. But yeah, listen, 3-0, but we still had opportunities. Like Isak went on 2 mad runs. Yeah, and he started in Jacob Murphy. And Jacob Murphy has skied. And this is what you get with Jacob Murphy. Like, it's just, I don't know.
He's lukewarm, man. He's lukewarm.
There's no composure there at all.
He's lukewarm.
At all. Can I say something though? In terms of you see the Bruno and the Isak goals. This is everything we've been talking about every week, moaning about it, that we aren't getting enough bodies in the box. There isn't enough game intelligence in terms of squaring the ball or putting it in the right areas. The timing's off. But one thing we can see is that there's been desire from the players to get in the box, support, and get in the right positions. And this is something they have to continue in order to help, Isak, who is forever isolated. So I noticed there was a bit of hunger there as well from the players to get in the right positions.
Yeah, and and again, a lot of it comes down to the fact when you've got Tonali in the 6, Bruno can push forward to support Isak further, and because of Bruno's skill set, he brings other people into the game as well. So you've got the likes of Gordon, who's not just isolated on that left hand side. Lewis Hall can bomb forward now. You know what I mean? It's these little things that help, because Tonali's recovery pace, as much because Tonali goes forward as well, but his recovery pace we never had that before. Bruno can't get back, yeah, but Tonali can, and Tonali's more disciplined. Sort of Bruno runs in custard, did it? As sometimes when he's trying to get back as a bit, but.
When Bruno's sprinting back, it's so funny sometimes because he's really running as fast as he can, but it looks like he's moving slow. It's really weird.
Yeah, but Murphy missed the opportunity, but then he got the same thing again. He's another dribble, put through Murphy, and this time he's hit it hard and low, nutmeg the keeper. When Murphy's not thinking about it, yeah, he's effective. Give him a moment to think, yeah. I still take it back to that time against Norwich City, yeah, when he's gone through 1-on-1 and he tried to be Lionel Messi, chipped the keeper, the man just stood there, caught the ball. I would never forget that, bro. I will never.
Oh, that was under Steve Bruce, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And Longstaff missed a sitter in that game as well. I remember that game. Yeah. But the thing is, though, do you think then this, because obviously he got 2 assists last week, 2 goals this week. Is there something about him being in the shop window? And even if we can get 7, 8, 9, 10 million for him, is it worth selling him really and then getting someone else in?
If someone came in for him for that price tag, I think we'd take it. I don't think anybody will, and he's a decent squad player. Yeah, he just can't start consecutively for us because he's not that guy. But he can come on and do a job. And if you needed to rest somebody in certain games, he could come in and be effective because he's got that hunger, he's got that desire, and he's got the engine as well. He does give the ball away, and he can't play with the ball. But
is he in his last year? Is he in his last year of contract?
I think so.
Okay, so maybe we can't make any money off him regardless. Anyway,
I think we have to sell Miggy before we sell Murphy.
Well,
Period.
Brant's just put a comment in there as well. He said we'd probably get more for Miggy than Murphy, and can't move both. It's interesting. I don't see. I mean, you're probably right. I just don't know how much we'd get from Miggy. You know, he's.
Thing about Miggy is that you're only good as your current season. I just feel like his stock is plummeting. It's just like
we'd be lucky to get 6 for him. I think.
I don't know, but it's just like I don't know, man. It really saddens me because we should have just cashed in while his stock was a little bit high. It wasn't through the ceiling high, but it was moderate. It was moderate. Where
did he want to move?
I don't think he wanted to move, did he? I don't know. It was a difficult one because we were on the verge of Champions League. He's probably like, nah, man, I've been in this club for a while. I got to stay.
Al Shabab he didn't want, but the Charlotte one I think he did, but they didn't offer us enough money. But I had heard there was another bid from Atlanta or something that was higher, and that was turned down for some random reason.
We just don't know what we're doing.
Eddie turned it down. Eddie's like, no,
14 million I heard, but the Charlotte one under, is it Dean Smith? That was like 6 million or something. So I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, because originally it was 12, and we said no. Yeah. So what they said is, I think they said is, all right, we'll lower the fee, but we'll higher his wages. We'll increase his wages, and they offered something like 6, and then we said no. So it's just like I don't know, but yeah.
Oh yeah, we got some comments, didn't we?
Yeah,
sometimes you forget this whole live thing. That
I've been seeing them, bro. I've been seeing them.
We're not on our own here.
Just need to get time to read them, bro. I see them, bro. Do you want to go through them now? Do you want to go through some of them now?
Yeah.
And a couple left a couple. We got a couple. But he said Wilson touched 3 blades of grass and somehow got injured again. But he gets these innocuous injuries, bro. But I don't know how he does it. But
it's a shame though, man, because it's really like ruining his legacy at the club because his goal tally is good for our club.
He's stuck on 49, isn't he?
And there's also,
is it?
And also,
our second highest goal scorer in the Premier League.
And also, we have to bring it back to once upon a time where people like him was our savior. When when we have to go back to them days when it was just like I was looking at players like Maximum of like, bro, you're like a most skillful player, right? You have to feed Wilson. You know, that's the situation we were in, and we're looking at people like Shelby to do their best. Those were dark times, man. So like Wilson has done a lot for us, man.
But that's why he had a pop at the fans a little bit when he said, you know, people got short memories about, you know, and it's true. But you know, it's about the here and now, isn't it? It's like with Eddie Howe, yeah. No one's going to forget what he's done for us, yeah, getting us the Champions League and saving us from relegation and stuff. But there's no harm in saying, okay, it's time to move on. You know what I mean? And that goes for the players as well. But yeah, he said
Wilson. I can't remember what particular
best finisher at the club. Best finisher at the club.
Yeah.
He was. There was one particular season, wasn't it, when he was just nasty, man. I think it might have been COVID days actually.
Well, the Champions League season, people forget it. He was our top scorer.
Yeah,
he got 18 Premier League goals. Yeah. And actually, people forget that Isak was injured for 4 months.
And got 12,
Isak was actually injured, and Callum was the one keeping the team going.
Yeah.
So it works in roundabouts.
And they could have played, and they played together at some point. So they were effective. Yeah. They were effective.
Bro, that was good. We were playing 2 strikers up front. Remember that was gosh.
Just a side note though, as I talk about when he said about Wilson having a pop back at everyone. What did you guys make of Murphy's celebration when he scored that first goal, bro? When he cupped his ears and he talked about what or something. He said what or something like that.
Yeah, honestly, I do think these players of ours. Let's face it, right? Social media is one hell of a place, and I think these players are not stupid, right? They're on the apps just like us. They see the hashtag NUFC just like us. So we, you know, in the past, Bruno has like kicked off about fans and stuff like that, even replied to people on Twitter. So I feel like players like him, even Gordon the other week was like, nah. You know what I mean? Like these players are responding because at the end of the day, it's just like, obviously, even us, we criticize Murphy. I'll just tell straight how it is. Like,
let's be honest.
Murphy, you're not delivering.
Get on with it, man.
He messed some sitters before he scored that goal. So don't go like you're a bad boy, bro. Just because you scored that goal. We ain't forgot 5 minutes ago. what you were doing, messing up them chances, bro.
It's
Still,
funny,
man.
isn't it? Because he's doing all the cup in the ears and stuff like that. But it's like,
Who do you think
bro,
you are,
you
bro?
tried press L2 to finesse it, and it went so wide, it was hitting the quarter flag, man. But anyway, I digress.
But yeah, listen.
I noticed a comment about Mbeumo. I think, you know, he's someone that, you know, we discussed, isn't it, in the summer, but
I
he's
think
had
that's a
such
good
a good
sell.
season, 10 Premier
Yeah.
League goals. His valuation is going to be through the roof. There's absolutely no chance Brentford are going to want a cheap fee. And unfortunately, like we've said to many people, the way we let Palace, you know,
Disrespect us.
it
Mug us
disrespects
off.
us, Brentford will easily follow suit with that. And
Come and
why
smack
shouldn't
dog.
they?
Hey, no,
And
great,
why
mate.
shouldn't they?
Yeah.
You know?
Just up quickly, do you think you see Isak now? He's scoring them goals now. Do you think he
Wow,
outscores
Murphy.
what that specs? Check out his channel. He had a pod on earlier on this evening, man, with a couple of Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United fans. It was hilarious, man. I was kind of giving it to them still, but check it out if you can. Geordie Dread TV and that.
Big up Specs.
Yeah. Do you think Isak outscores Jackson this season in the league?
No.
No.
Nah.
What's Jackson got so
I
far?
think
Jackson's on 9 now. I think he's on 9. I might be
9.
Yeah.
And he misses. He's similar to Nunes. He misses the easy chances and scores.
Jackson's on 9.
I think, man, I might have got wrong, but I think
you telling me he's going to hit double figures by Christmas?
He's had a good season, Jackson. But
well,
the thing is,
chances.
they trade. That's the thing. And like I said, with someone like a Palmer, you know, it's meat and drink.
He's getting fed, isn't it? He's getting fed.
Yeah. We struggle. We toil to score our goals. Like a lot of our goals are hard work. They're not.
Yeah,
like
9 goals, 9 goals and 3
crafted.
assists in 15 games. 9 goals and 3 assists.
It's a good season, and I think he's got the highest non-penalty goals in the league as well.
He's got this year. He's got the highest non-penalty goals. Yeah, more than Salah. He's moving. Kind of.
And he wasn't that expensive. He wasn't that expensive, and this is what I mean. He came from Villarreal, so there's no reason why when you're scouting players, you can't get them from sort of, you know, lower half, mid-table Spanish and German teams. We talked about it before. That Serhou Guirassy cost 15 million. I still cannot believe we did not get this guy, and it wouldn't have broken the bank. And we spent 15 million on Osula, and I know Osula's 21 and Guirassy's 27, but Guirassy's was top scorer in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, but he'd want to be coming first choice though, innit? He'd want to come to be first choice. You're not displacing Isak.
I'd have him at 9, Isak wide, Gordon there. Done. You don't have any of this Murphy business. Barnes can come off the bench. Sorted.
Jackson's got 9 goals and 3 assists in 15 games. Isak's got 7 goals and 4 assists in 14 games. So I think Isak will outscore him.
1 in 2.
If he stays fit, Isak outscores him. I think that. I think so. But we'll see, man. We'll see.
And also, I'll probably say this out loud now, and I know you guys will agree. And when it comes to the end of the season, I'm going to put some money on it. Isak's show reel of goals will look better too.
Well, Isak show will any striker in the league,
so far this season is a really good show reel.
Well, Isak's collection of goals since he's been at Newcastle, untouchable. The quality of goals that brother scored, crazy.
I saw basically a comp, isn't it? It was like Isak's goals so far this season. I was just like, bro, this guy has scored some goals so far this season.
Well, Isak's a baller.
Even those little ones where it's just like the little touch-ins, it's just like his awareness and everything. His goals, he's just one of them players, isn't it? He reminds me of like a little bit of a Giroud where he don't score easy goals. He just scores like fancy goals. It's just one of those kind of players.
But he's adding the easy goals to his catalogue now. He's getting the tap-ins and the close headers and that, whatever. He's doing his thing. He's getting better and better.
Thing is, he'll get the tap-in as long as Murphy passes it. Because I remember there's that goal where Murphy passed it, and I remember how nervous I was. Just like, Murphy, you better pass it.
Against Spurs, isn't it?
Yeah. He was like, you better pass it, Murphy.
That volley off his chin against Nottingham Forest.
I told you pass it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
When he was off balance and then he hit it, that was a crazy.
Bro.
And he done that. When he scored, he was like, "Oh, that was a bad boy finish." And
his celebrations are bad as well, brother. And now he's got the gun to the face. He's a bad boy. Yeah. Brad said Isak will surpass Jackson with Tonali at the 6, full flying, and if Gordon can find consistency, Isak will surpass Jackson. I agree. Big Sam, hold tight. Big Sam is locked in. He said Isak ain't scoring Jackson. You're trolling me, bro. You're absolutely trolling. Yeah, relax. Yeah. Chill. Isak is so much better than Jackson in so many ways. Jackson probably faster, but Isak's ability to run at defenders with the ball.
Yeah.
Isak's dribbling is a mad.
Yeah, there was some parts in that game actually against Leicester where his dribbling, the way he would like take on the play, I think it's in the second half, he happens in position, he's like, you can see him just like, and I was just like, yeah, this is the guy. You can see he was like, oh, you're looking like you're at your peak at the moment.
He's
where you're
got
just
his confidence back.
The fitness
is there.
Balls,
he's spraying the balls out wide. He's dropping deep. He's look when times he fed Murphy through. It's a sight to see, man. But before we talk about, I'm gonna say before we talk about other performances, we have to talk about the substitutions that Eddie Howe made, because he allowed us to make them early subs. He brought on Asula. He brought on Barnes. I think Trippier came on as well. What did you make of Asula's cameo?
I think he was okay. I think it's one of them ones where I wasn't expecting too much.
Yeah, he put himself about a bit.
Yeah,
physical presence.
Yeah. What I like about this guy is that he's got height, and you can see that, like, if he just bulks up a little bit, you can just see him just shoving players off.
He's physical. He's very physical, but he's a bit too. He's like Joe Linton, but he puts his hand on his head and he's that. He's a little bit. Just chill out. And he had that.
Asula is a bit of a roadman as well, so you can see he don't really have it. He don't really have it that much. But
that must be stutter, bro. I'm telling you.
Asula.
He had that chance. I wouldn't say chance, but he broke.
His song.
Yeah,
I heard it against AFC Wimbledon.
I heard it when I was at St. James. Like, what is this?
Shout out to the Newcastle fans, man. They
he had that opportunity though. He had that opportunity when he's driven through the centre of the pitch, and Gordon was screaming for it. He should have fed through Gordon. He's 1-on-1 with the keeper, but he's cut his side. He's fed it through to Harvey Barnes. Still a good ball to Harvey Barnes, and Barnes has fluffed the chance. But I think that the easier ball was to Gordon, and Gordon was be through, and Gordon flew up his arms and that. But that comes with.
That will come with more game time, man. Give him man more game time.
But then the thing is,
more minutes.
Would he get the minutes? Because this is obviously we were 4-0 up at the time, so he gave him 20 minutes. But I don't know if he's going to get 20 minutes again. I don't trust Eddie Howe with this product.
It's Christmas, and I think we all together, was it 8 games in 30 days this month, or something like that. So
5
you
games in
need
18
to switch
days
it up.
Like that.
Yeah, you need to switch it up, man, because the last thing we want is this guy getting injured because you haven't made the changes and you haven't preserved them. 15-20 minutes here and there adds up.
But this is where we made it worth his back, because of our position in the league, he can't afford to start Asulu in any of the games because we have to get the points on the board now, right? Maybe
would you say Ipswich? Would you say Ipswich potentially?
No. Because that's a banana skin. That is a banana skin for us. Yeah.
I'm worried about the Ipswich game, man.
Exactly. And imagine if we lose
away game, and we seem to just be putty when we go to away grounds. So
you know what I mean? And imagine
it's that lack of flexibility, though, D-man. This is what I'm talking about. He could easily switch to a 4-4-2, or we've talked about it, a 3-2-3, whatever it is. He could switch it up so that Isak's got that support, or I'm pretty sure Asula can play wide left forward as well. He doesn't just play through the middle. So Eddie has to show that flexibility, man. This rigidity is killing us. It's killing us,
If
man.
you don't start against Bromley in the cup, then he ain't never started.
That's the game. That's the game he has to start. I don't want to see Isak starting that.
Nah.
I want to see Travis Hearns. I want to see Cal Heffernan. I want to see all these boys.
See Botman.
He's playing in the reserves tonight, by the way.
He played an hour. Yeah. So he came out.
He's coming out, man. This is so positive.
But
he could come back as a new signing, boy.
Yeah. Well, we hope. Let's talk about some of the performances, though. We touched on Isak. Briefly, more a bit about Tonali, right? Because again, what he brought to the team, I thought was it's night and day, innit? Like, he's very disciplined in the 6. He starts the attack, and he's a quick passer. And he had the opportunity at the end of the game. See when he flicked it up and he volleyed it and it hit the side netting. Had that gone in, that would have been beautiful. But he's so composed on the ball as well, and he can spot a pass. You know, and like I said, he releases Bruno. That's the key thing. He releases Bruno, who lost the toss again, but he releases Bruno further up the pitch with the confidence that the defense is protected, and we're going to need that even more now with Nick Pope out as well, because it's going to be.
I know.
Right.
I know. And just to slightly go to that side note about Pope being out, because Leicester was so terrible, Leicester didn't even test Dubravka. So I'm still a bit really weary about Dubravka being in goal right now.
Brentford will test him.
Yeah, Mbama and West are going to test his ass, right?
They'll score. I bet you they will score.
So, but just to bring it back to Tonali, this guy, man, I've been thinking about this, and I'm going to wax a bit of lyrical right now. So give me my moment. I'm going to step on that little soapbox. This guy he's going to end up being one of our best midfielders. He's going to go down in history, I reckon, because he offers, like, we love Bruno G, right? And Bruno G has held it down for a long time. He has held it down, but just very different the way this guy sets a tone. And once again, it goes back to the fact the future is bright with this guy sitting in deep and sitting in a 6 and dictating play. So what we have to do now, and what I would hope what they want to do, is start building the team around Tonali. And this is where I've said it before, and I don't obviously want to predict this kind of future, but I think there is a good chance Bruno is going to leave the club soon. And with that regards, I do think we're going to be fine with Tonali being at our club. And it's almost going to be like he's going to pass the baton to Tonali, and then, you know, we start building our future from here, because he's just great, man. He's just I'm just waiting for that moment where he can start cashing a few goals in, and everyone's going to be like, ooh, because I think at the moment it's that classic thing of, like, I've had that before, where people like to think he's not performing because he doesn't have a goal or assist to his name. It's just like the guy does a lot of work off the ball and on the ball that don't register as goals and assists, but he is consistent.
He controls the game, bro.
If I were to do my homework,
it's like Tony Kroos for Madrid, isn't it? When he was at Madrid.
Yeah, if we look at his, and I'll probably do my homework for next time round to look at his consistent stats on the terms of, like, his passing, his accuracy, his progressive passes as well. The guy has it all, man. And also, what I love is just how quick he releases the ball.
This is it.
And if you even look at all of our goals recently, he's been part of them. It's really interesting. Like, very subtly, very subtly, he's part of it. And I think that's going unnoticed by most people. But I'm like, no. Even with that goal with Murphy's first goal, when he did that shot into the corner, Tonali was part of that routine of that corner. It's the little things. And I think
he's the linchpin of those corner routines. He's always involved. He's always
involved. And the thing is, we know, and, you know, I've damn watched the Milan show reels numerous of times. This guy can also score free kicks as well, right? Start getting this guy on free kicks. I'm telling you.
He had one.
And assists as well, wasn't it? Didn't he get, I want to say it was like 10 assists from free kicks and set pieces in their title winning season? It was something stupid like that. But just to say, I mean, something I've picked up on here. Firstly, when we're talking about Tonali, we talked about his ground speed. So we've seen it before where either he's lost the ball or he's pressing. He's been able to, like, go to tackle 1, 2, 3 players across the midfield. He's been that quick. The frequency. So we could arguably, in his current role, he's a tempo player. So very similar to how Kroos and Modric operated in under Real Madrid. I think that role could potentially change if Bruno moves on, because I think it works well whilst Bruno's there. But I think he can also be in where Bruno's position is. It's just that we don't have a proper number 6, because I actually think Tonali also has a lot to offer going forward as well. It's just that he's so good with the ball, he can do that from a deeper position. And when you look at the way, not necessarily the way he plays, but his role in the team, it very much reminds me of when Eddie was starting to transform us. When we went on that run, John Joe Shelby, exactly the same role. The only difference is he's more athletic and obviously younger than John Joe Shelby. I think John Joe Shelby's role in that transformation was very understated, because he's a very good passer of the ball.
Pinging the balls, man.
It was just him getting you know, in and around that
He's
sort
an
of
upgrade,
quadrant.
but yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You're right. But isn't it good to have to know that we've got a midfield pair that can chat to the bigger teams as well? Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but you've got like Enzo and Lavio, Enzo and Caicedo and all that, and then you've got like McAllister and Gravenberch. You've got Rice and Odegaard. But we've got our two now that can really stand up to the dude, like to that midfield, and
Definitely.
they complement each other really well. Because remember, the talk was they couldn't play together, yeah. But great players find a way to make it work, yeah. And now it is working because don't get me wrong, at some point in time you'll see Bruno and Tonali both sitting back, but then only one will go forward, and it's usually Bruno, and Tonali will sit.
Double pivot.
That's what I'm saying. They're starting to, they're starting to feed it, and the interchange that they do together.
It's what we've been crying for since the summer. We said Tonali's returning. This is what we should do. We've been calling it. So I feel like it is a long time coming, because one of the things that I was writing about, I think it was like on social media not long after the game, was the fact that this guy was banned for like 10 months and he was with the team for like 10 months. He wasn't injured. He didn't have an ACL injury. So all this like slowly embedded him into the team. It's just like, honestly, I still don't have it, right? I do think that really hurt us earlier this season, that we just didn't let this guy play and we were putting Longstaff ahead. And I feel like, obviously, there's no way of proving it now. We can't go back in time and try readjust history and see what happened if he was given a lot more game time. But I think the proof is here, guys. And I think everyone knows the answer now. And I feel like if Eddie was to suddenly and be like, don't play him against Brentford in the Cup, I think rightfully so, the whole fan base will erupt and be like, what the hell are you doing?
There is no way he can't, because Longstaff's suspended. So there's no way he cannot play Tonali in that thing. There's no way. There'll be a riot. There'll be an absolute riot. But let's talk about Lewis Hall, because there was another good performance from him. And I know you talked about connections, Jefferson, earlier, but his connection with Anthony Gordon seems to be paying off quite well now. They seem to have a good understanding with each other, which is really good. And obviously you've got Joe Linton on that side as well, who sits back with Lewis Hall as well and allows Lewis Hall to push forward and bomb forward, because we know he's very good going forward as well. But there is talk that he is now the best left back in the country. I think it's still a bit premature, but there's a lot of talk now to say, you know what, and credit to Anthony Robertson, whatever his name is. Yeah,
where you at?
Yeah,
where you at?
What are you saying, Kante? What are you saying?
I think it's them two, innit? Them two are on form.
Good, Robertson's good. Fulham,
very good, and his form's been longer.
A good fight against Liverpool. That was a good game, by the way.
Yeah, and he played very well, to be fair. But yeah, Lewis Hall, I mean, if he continues this, I mean, that 28 mil that we paid for him is looking like a steal.
Bargain.
Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I think technically he's shown his skills. You talked about progressive passes earlier. I really cannot remember the stats. I should have screen grabbed it, but I think he has the most progressive forward passes from a left back this season.
Yeah.
I believe is it in the hundreds?
I don't know what the stat is.
105 passes or something like that.
But the game alone, how many progressive passes was he feeding Gordon? It was like routine.
Yeah.
I was just like, when you start having that, it just opens up the game so much more, because I think if we remove that and look at us like a few games ago, and when it was almost like less of that, it was almost like trying to go.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Because we now have a player that does it in Tonali, so people feed off that. Lewis Hall is feeding off that energy, you know. Oh, then we can do it then, yeah. All right, let me try it then, yeah. I'm telling you. And Lewis Hall is we talk about players that are comfortable on the ball. He's one of the few players that we have that are technically comfortable on that ball. Him and Tonali, obviously Bruno on that, but those three and Isak, those four are the players that are most comfortable. If you watch the way Lewis, how comfortable he is with in any receiving the ball in any position, moving with it, dribbling with it, passing with it, like this guy is a baller. Yeah, he's a baller. And it's sad, but he's showing up Tino on the other side, you know, because Tino didn't really have that much of a great game.
I say there's a comment in the chat about Tino potentially being special. I think, to be honest, the Tino I saw before his ACL injury is better than the Tino we got now. That's for sure. And maybe it will take him a while to get there. But we've experimented a couple of times with him at right wing, and I think I'm not comparing the two players, but do you remember when sort of after a while Harry Redknapp changed Bale to a winger? And I think we might have to do that with Tino. I don't think he's good at right back. I'm not
He's
convinced.
not that
He can't
convincing at the moment.
concentrate, and
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I would prefer to
It's
see him further up the pitch.
it's a weird one because I haven't quite written off Tino yet, and I know there's been a few mistakes here and there, but at the same time, I've seen him play really well at right back. I know he's very capable of, and I don't know if he's just going for a patch or, to be honest, it could be the fact that unfortunately, like Lewis Hall is almost like outperforming him, and it's showing him up a bit more. Do you know what I mean? Because
remember, we did say it about Lewis Hall with back in the day when he was struggling. We said maybe he needs to be pushed further
right.
forward. So
And
I get what
because
you're saying.
if you look back at the time when Tino was first coming to the team, Trippier was still there, Tino was coming on, we were like, this guy's electric, man. Why are we not like using him more? And at that time, we were comparing Tino with Byrne on the left. So if you look at it like that, you're going to look at Tino and compare Byrne. You're going to be like, this guy's electric, man. Why are we holding him back so much? So I feel like it's quite easier to look at Hall now and go, this guy is pushing, right? He's pushing. His overall score rating on like FIFA is going to go up by the end of the season. But Tino, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. But at the same time,
sorry to cut in, AC. The thing I would say about Tino, the difference between the issues that both Tino and Hall had. So Hall's was more about the physicality and the fitness. It felt like he was easy to push off the ball. He was getting cramps in games. It just looks like physically he wasn't there, and it was just about putting in time on the training pitch, putting in time on in the gym to get up to speed. Because technically he's got the gifts, whereas Tino, his passing is pretty average. We talk about with Murphy, his game intelligence isn't the best. For me, his concentration is poor, and he gets caught out many times. And it reminds me of Kyle Walker in the early days, before Pep really worked on him. And I think, unfortunately, at right back, as we've seen with Trent, well, I'll come to Trent in a second. We've seen it before. You can end up being a liability for a team if you don't get your defensive shape right, positioning right. And
I saw it from pre-season.
He has this languid style, like,
yeah. But remember pre-season what I said.
He takes his time.
Remember I said in pre-season how he was getting caught out of position because the inside ball, and he just goes to sleep. He's just not aware. And I get what you're saying. He did, and his language style means not that he's not bothered, but he's trying to rely, like you said, Kyle Walker, rely on his speed to get back. When if you're in position in the first place, you don't have to do that.
You're not having to do that.
Yeah, and his passing is sloppy.
At least when Trent was getting caught out, he's giving you something going forward. And I feel with Tino at the moment, he'll get to the byline and the quality isn't there.
I see.
With what's his name? With Hall, he's doing it in both ends of the pitch. So I think there's a lot for Tino to improve on. He has to give us something.
Brent had a couple commented, I'm an American. I saw Robertson progress from being okay to doing what he's doing at the moment. Both Robertson and Tino are limited in certain ways, but Robertson does a few things really well and is consistent. And he said Robertson used to never be able to throw in a cross. Same for Tino. If Tino can learn how, when and where to put the cross in, he can become dangerous. Tino is able to progress the ball forward. And that's a coaching thing, like you said. If he gets the coaching, but I think he will get that consistent run in a team because I think Trippier's gone in January anyway. I think there was talk. I don't know if anyone caught it, but apparently when Trippier came on, I think Bruno came. Someone passed him the captain's armbag, and he wouldn't take it. He gave it to somebody else. Like he didn't want it. Yeah, apparently. So that could be very telling.
Wow, I would have loved to see Eddie's face when that happened. Can I just quickly ask Brent? Brent, why is Robinson called Jedi? Because Kante always refers to him as Jedi. I don't know if that's what the Fulham fans call him, or is that what the USA soccer fans call him? Would love to, if you put that in the chat, I'd love to know why.
Yeah. What do you think about obviously Joe Linton got the yellow card, didn't he? Yeah. And I don't know if you saw Eddie Howe's comments, but he said Brent has no idea. Eddie Howe was saying that just before that he said to Joe Linton, look, do not get the yellow card. We need you. And he went, don't worry, boss, I'm not going to get one. And then 2 minutes later, he gets a yellow card. He said, you can't make it up. Like, so now he's going to miss the Ipswich game. It's not the cup game. He's missing for the Ipswich game. So how much of a blow is that? I mean, you know, Eddie Howe said we do need him, especially away from home. So is that
I think it's a big blow. I think we're going to miss Drew Linton a lot. Just because if you look at the way Ipswich play, it's a championship team, man. They like it rough. They're going to, I don't know, it's going to be a tough battle in midfield. And for Longstaff to come in, I'm not sure, man.
Or Willock, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Willock. We could do that, actually.
Yeah. But we lose that physicality, don't we? So
we do. You do need that. I think the Ipswich game's weird, and I'm almost like don't want to think too much of it right now. I'm just looking to Brentford to start, and we'll see. Because I think we're all in agreement here as well. It's just like it was a great victory against Leicester, 4-0. Really good. Yeah. But we've been here before, guys. We got to see what happens in our next game.
That's it. We can't take much from this.
I cannot take much from it. And I can't get carried away because I've been here before, and I feel like it's a really interesting one because let's face it, a lot of build up to that Leicester game. A lot of people were covering it, and a lot of people were just outline putting on the table. Is Eddie Howe's job at risk? Like flat out. A lot of people are talking about it. It's a discussion point. And I think honestly so, because we looked at that fixture list and we're like, if you don't come out of that well, you know it's going to go south. And part of me still thinks it's a weird one now because we won 4-0. Yeah, it looks like, oh, we're back on track, this and that. But I still believe that game was a weird one where Leicester were really poor at the same time. Because if Leicester turned up and actually challenged us and actually challenged the Bravka, that game would have been very different. Because those chances where Murphy was missing and not doing great, and then Isak was missing, it's very repetitive.
You can't do that on Wednesday. You cannot do that on Wednesday. We'll get punished.
It's very repeating of what happened.
And the lap is a problem, games. You know. The lap is a problem.
But let's be honest, though.
He looks.
But even if we win these next 2 games, right? That still don't mean nothing because we won 3 in a row last time and then we capitulated. So we're gonna have to win at least, you know, the next 5. Yeah, or at least avoid defeat in the next 5 and pick up 4 wins or something for us to start thinking, all right, we are starting to turn the corner because we could easily win the next 3 and then get beaten by Villa and Man United.
Man United and Villa are the ones I'm looking for. But guys, we know what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen because these sort of wins should not be getting Eddie Brownie points because I'm sure even the owners are expecting him to get results against these teams. Whether it's 1-0, 2-0 or 4-0, we should be beating Leicester. And this is what I'm saying. The teams we've dropped points against, I know some of them have been tough than we thought, but yeah, we should be doing better, boys, for not necessarily the squad, but our first 11. Eddie should be getting more out of these boys. And the fact that we got a big win like that and we're still stuck in the second half, despite the teams being tight, it's not good enough for me. So yeah, the bread and butter for me, I want to see good performance, good results against Villa and Man United.
Yeah.
But just quickly before we wrap up with the Man United game, we might be. I'd be confident we beat Villa because we're at home, right? But the Man United game, we're gonna be the one. We're gonna sit there. We're gonna try park the bus again. Man United are garbage. Yeah, I know Amra's taken over, but
we have to go for the juggler.
Take the game to them, but we're not going to do that. We're going to sit back.
What do you think about Amad Diallo, though? I mean, he looked really good yesterday.
Well, he destroyed us last season, didn't he?
Yeah, he scored a belter. He looked really good, and that's another example, isn't it? They paid, I think, was it 32 million to Atalanta at the time, and people thought they wasted money. But
sent him on loan to Sunderland.
Good player.
It's going to be a really big game against Man United because the table as well. Because, like you said, we won, Tottenham won, Man United won, and we all just stay in the same place. So it's just like at some point, something's got to give. And I feel like I do wonder this whole like December, Christmas break / going into the new year. After that, we're going to start seeing teams separate a little bit because something has to give, man. No one.
Well, this is it. This is a busy period now, so it's going to be games coming thick and fast. We're going to have to rotate and what teams are going to drop points. We saw at the
It's
weekend.
such a-
Liverpool drop points.
it's
Arsenal
such-
drop points. You know what I mean?
It's
It's going to
such a mad
be.
season though, man, because I'm seeing like Palace giving Brighton a whooping as well. And I'm like, whoa, gosh, this is not nothing to think for lightly. This is why the Ipswich game, I know people will say on paper we should do it. I'm telling you guys, man, because the Ipswich won on the weekend as well, and I'm like, that ain't good.
Right, exactly, exactly.
Build some confidence into them, right? They're going to be at home ground in their cauldron.
Yeah,
that ain't good.
Crazy.
So I don't
and
know.
they
Man.
play good football. I think actually that's the only thing that might help us is that they're naive and they'll try and play. And we've seen it before that once teams open up gaps, that's when we can play. If they sit back, then we're in trouble. So we'll be interested to see what McKenna decides to do.
Yeah, but just quickly, last comment. Brant said we need to beat Ipswich similar to Leicester and then beat Villa. Then I might start to believe again. You're in the same camp as us, my friend. Same camp as us. United will be very telling game for both teams if we are playing well coming into it. True. We will review that game as well. Obviously, we're going to review the
we should beat United though, because just put one last bit to it is that United defensively are shocking. So I kind of feel like we should take it to them and do some bit of damage. But what I am seeing with United,
they looked all right yesterday though. They kept. I mean, they kept their shape. I think because the three at the back, particularly with Maguire, but believe it or not, Maguire looked more comfortable. Three in the back. It reminded me a bit of his time at England when we played three at the back.
Listen,
for me, it's the wing backs. Can the wing backs, provide that service? Because
week by week, because by that time,
if Rashford plays, we've got a chance. But,
Rashford they're trying to sell him. He ain't playing again.
He dropped him in it. He dropped him.
Nacho as well is in trouble as well.
But the thing is, let's take it week by week because that's a few weeks away, and we might have injuries by then and suspension. So we don't know. Like, let's see what team we can put out first before we start thinking about what we can do against them because we've got plenty of football to play in between that. So we might go in there with no form.
Have we got to play Villa before that?
Yeah. So we go on the back of that with 2 straight defeats. Yeah. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
It's weird though, man, because Villa have dropped off the cliff. I don't know, man.
Champions League, innit?
They're still above us. They're still above us. So you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Champions League. But speaking of injuries, though, is it a bit of an Easter egg that we saw James Bunce in the team photo? Is that him taking credit for this performance analysis stuff? Is he helping Eddie behind the scenes, keeping players fit and
I don't think now's the right time to do that because we just lost Wilson and Pope. So I don't really think you know what I mean? I don't think it's time to really start picking at your chest. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. So thank you all for tuning in and watching. Don't forget this is going to be available on the audio, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And we will see you probably the end of the week to review the cup game and the Ipswich game. But yeah, until then, we're out. Peace.
Salute, people. Salute.